Hi, Steve Cooper, Rank Success, and as you can gather, we are approaching Christmas. It's that time of year, and towards the end of the year, I have very kindly been contacted by people who have had their promotion board results just in time for Christmas, and some of them certainly over the last month or two on the run up to Christmas. So this video is all about Christmas success. To finish the year on a high in terms of the little flurries of successes that I get notified. So I do these videos through the rest of the year from time to time when we have those little flurries of results after promotion boards. This is one of those times. It's a great time for people, and you can tell it in their feedback. So what I wanted to do was to go through some of those testimonials from officers in this video, some of the feedback that they give me, and then share some insights with you and just have a quick look at them. Now, if you haven't got time to listen to this video and the experiences of successful candidates recently, that's fine. If you want to take a quantum leap forward and just download a digital toolkit or a 4-hour promotion masterclass from ranksuccess.co.uk, you can do that, as these individuals have done. And this is the other end of it. So if we are approaching the new year 2023, which we are now, and you are over Christmas going to be thinking about perhaps you've qualified this year and next year you're going to go for it, go for promotion, there is lots and lots of things to help you for free. So free podcasts, free YouTube videos, and free blogs on my site. There's more free material out there than you can shake a stick at, and that's just for starters, but as I say, if you want to hit the ground running, take a quantum leap forward, you can download a digital toolkit including the masterclass and go from there. In the new year, I've also got 2 live masterclass events. People have sent me messages before and said, Steve, you know, it's nice to have the video masterclass, but I like live events. It's how I learn. I'd like to come along and do that. So I'm resuming those in the new year. One on the February the 18th and one on March the 18th. So if you can come along to those, all you need to do is come along in thinking mode. I'll provide everything, including your lunch, and I'll just ask that you come along in thinking mode, and we'll go through together everything you need to kind of hit the ground running ahead of your promotion opportunity next year. So this that I'm going to go through now is the feedback from recent candidates who have kindly left their feedback for me, got in contact with me, often elated after promotion boards. It's certainly a great experience to get that call. Some have left their reviews on Google for me. Some have sent me emails, and they're on my site, on my testimonials. They added now to the hundreds and hundreds of them. So there's something in it. It's proof of the pudding. And it's Christmas, so I want to go through these because it's lovely that people have taken the time to send these messages in time for their Christmas result as well. So the first one is from John, who has said, Steve, I just wanted to pass on a personal thank you for helping me to pass the Constable to Sergeant first time. I achieved a score of 47 out of 50 during the assessment centre, which I'm in no doubt is as a result of your content steering me in the right direction. The assessors commented on my understanding and application of the CVF, the depth and breadth of my preparation, and my confidence in delivery. Keep up the great work and have a very Merry Christmas. All the best to you too as well, John. Now, John's talking there about his depth and breadth of preparation and his understanding of the CVF. It's one of the gaps that I've covered in highlighted videos throughout this year, and what's happening there is he's had a look at the CVF. There's a CVF bespoke video that I've recorded, and it is a jaunt through the CVF, a summary through each of the competencies and values to help you embed that understanding, and clearly it worked for John. So there's an option for you to think through. High score, a 47 out of 50, that'll do, and clearly it's got him through, so a great Christmas present there for John. The second one is from Patrick, who passed his inspector's board. Hi Steve, I embarked on the transfer process on promotion that's lasted 5 weeks from the advert to the results. Despite your advice, I wasn't ready with my preparation, so I'm always telling people, you know, prepare ahead, get yourself match fit in plenty of time. I ended up having 10 days effectively to prepare for the interview, which meant me re-watching your promotion masterclass and watching and listening to your short free clips on YouTube and your podcasts. Listening to them and refreshing the previous knowledge you had provided put me in a good place, and I felt as confident as I could be on the short turnaround. I finally re-listened to your role of the inspector on the way to my interview, and I couldn't believe it when they asked me, what's the difference between a sergeant and an inspector? Whilst I couldn't remember everything DI Pam said, I could recall enough to feel like I answered the question well. Overall, I can't thank you enough for your masterclass video product, as without it, I honestly don't think I'd have passed the interview. Thanks again, Steve Patrick. So, there's a bit of coincidence. You don't make your own luck. You don't just have luck. You do have to try and work with luck, if you like, and generally that's about being the best prepared. And I'd call that lucky though, on your way to the interview, listening to a podcast that covers the question that you were asked on your board. How often does that happen? But it is Christmas. Third one, this is from Lou. Hi Steve, thanks to your guides and podcasts, I passed the inspector's board first time around. I passed my sergeant's board first time around as well, but I put that all down to luck. Whereas this time around I felt well prepared, well versed and well read. I needed the extra push which you provided, as I was lost. I couldn't quite tell you how or what I did that got me over the line, but I can say enamel, and your reading list musts were a huge help. I felt like I could attack each question, and I was ready to say, who has questions for my answers? So for those of you who have read through my blogs or have read through my toolkits or are probably working through them now in time for promotion opportunities in the new year, you'll probably say, well, what kind of language is this that's going on? What are they talking about? What's DI Pam said? What's enamel? Well, if you're intrigued, they are mnemonics. I love mnemonics. I put supportive mnemonics in there to help you remember chunks of information so that you don't have to remember a lot of information. You can just remember the mnemonic and talk about it conversationally on a board, which comes across well to those that are listening. So again, first time result, brilliant. Well done, Lou, and Merry Christmas. Number 4, short, sharp and sweet from Phil. I got my feedback today, Steve. I scored 4 across the board and it was one of the highest scoring apparently. Thank you, Phil, new sergeant. So short and sweet there. Merry Christmas, Phil. 5th one, hello Steve, I began my sergeant's process this time last year. Exam to paper sifts and then finally my board on Wednesday. I started watching your short videos on your channel around presentations, answering questions, topics and the almighty plan on a page. I just received a call to say I passed. First time round for me. I just wanted to send you an email to say thank you, and the guidance and support you provide really did keep me on the right track. Many thanks. Angela. So another first time pass there. So you can see that theme building up of people passing first time because they prepare effectively and do everything they can to ensure they're match fit for the opportunity when it comes along. And essentially it's just a conversation. And if you've done that depth and breadth, there's a whole aura and contrived kind of expectations around interviews, and they are contrived in a way, but essentially if you do the work, it should just be a conversation, one that you've prepared and done that depth and breadth of preparation for, but you're ready for it and you walk in and you have that professional conversation, which is essentially around policing, management, leadership, values, stuff that you really should be competent talking about, particularly if you put yourself forward for a promotion board. And as I say, the digital toolkits that you can download from my site just allow you to do that, and all of these individuals have done that, and there's the proof of the pudding. So if it's something that will work for you, you can do that too. Number 6, dear Steve, I sat my board for the sergeant's process yesterday, and I'd like to thank you for your interview preparation package that I purchased a few months ago. All of the questions in the process were rear-facing, so the more of these the better, and the specific practice questions are gold dust. Gary, that's from Gary. So Merry Christmas, Gary. It just goes to show, you can buy an interview preparation package, and guess what it does? It gets you thinking, it supports your thinking, it provokes your thinking, it challenges it, and all around the topic and the nature of promotion. So, practice questions, specific questions. You can plan, you can expect those questions, you can anticipate them. And in a 45-minute interview, you should be able to almost, with the toolkits and with the support that I put out there, you should be able to almost anticipate every single one of them. They're only a variation on a theme, and you'll see what I mean if you have a look at them. Seventh one, Steve, just a very quick message to say that your videos have been amazing and have really helped me shape my board prep. I've just found out I've been successful in my inspector board, and there's no way it would have happened without your guidance. A massive thank you. That's from Brian. So Merry Christmas, Brian, another new inspector. And Brian's basically just saying there that it's helped shape his board prep. You have to do the work for your promotion opportunity, but when candidates talk about shaping their board prep, then certainly there's lots of tips and guidance and insights throughout the digital toolkits that can help you keep your momentum going right up to the point where you have your opportunity. And many people just don't do it. They don't do it. They've never seen the toolkits, so they generally think about what they've been told, conversations they've had with friends, and that can be okay, but sometimes it can put you down the wrong track and certainly kind of block you doing the necessary depth of work you need to do to be able to do well on a promotion board. Next one is from Zoe, Chief Inspector. Hi Steve, I just wanted to drop a line to say thank you so much for all of the material you produce. I attributed my success in the 2019 inspector process to following your guides. Today I discovered I passed my Chief Inspector board for the first time. I've been listening to your podcasts and reading your blogs, but I found the most benefit in the downloadable guides and your masterclass, which cemented my knowledge and really helped me to structure my responses. A huge thank you. I always recommend your material when mentoring others, and I'm grateful to you for giving clarity to the process, which is incredibly competitive and brutal even when you pass. So a tough process there for Zoe. Chief Inspector processes are tough. There's a lot of competition for them, and so listening to podcasts, thinking, reflecting, listening is a good way of learning. Reading blogs is another way of learning. Watching videos like this is another way of learning. And you combine all of those together with your own drive and determination and enthusiasm for getting promoted and progressing your career. And guess what? It comes across to the panel, to a board, that you're someone who knows what's going on, you're well briefed, you're well versed, you know the role, and it's apparent in everything you do and the way you come across, particularly your non-verbal language, your body language, because one of the things it's hard to control in an interview situation is your non-verbal communication. So, but when you're connected with it, with your enthusiasm, and you're congruent with it, it comes across to the board as well, that you're confident in what you're saying and how you're coming across. Okay, the last one, number 9. Steve, I've just heard today I passed my inspector's board at the first attempt. I've no doubt whatsoever this was achieved by knowledge and confidence gained from your products, and particularly the masterclass video. I began last January listening to your podcasts, walking the dog on the beach, all the way through, studying your guides, reading suggested material, often late at night, and being well informed on the current and future direction of policing. This enabled me to get match fit, as you often say. If you prepare well, the prize is there. It was key to me to be able to flex and adapt on the day to speak about on a range of relevant topics and not rely on single examples. I was up super early on the day I went for a run, and I focused on being confident in my studies and my preparation. Thank you so much. I'm recommending your services far and wide. Dave. I think Dave even rang me while he was walking his dog on the beach listening to one of the podcasts. And I can't cover everything in all of those, although I try to cover a pretty broad base for Sergeant Inspector and Chief Inspector. But people will always have questions, and people sometimes ring up on the off chance I'll answer the phone. I do if I can, and we'll cover a point very quickly. And sometimes I'll add that to a blog because I want to share it and get it out there, because if it's an issue for someone, it's an issue for someone else. Some common themes there. So we've been through one Chief Inspector promotion, there have been others. There's been lots and lots of promotions this year, but 4 inspectors here, 3 sergeants, 5 of them results first time. The others don't allude to first time, and there may well have been 1 or 2 others in there first time, but 5 first time boards, not bad. So 4 new inspectors, 3 new sergeants, just in the last few weeks. 1 new Chief Inspector, and the themes coming from that, the highest scores Assessors commenting on understanding. So that's a theme I've seen happen over the last couple of years, and I've alluded to it in other feedback videos where, the board often say to people, could you hang back a minute please, or could you come and see us? Or at their feedback, they will be asked to share with the board or the panel, how did you prepare? What was it that you did? Because there was clear blue water between you and the other candidates. You stood out. It was easy to score you. What did you do? How did you prepare? Because people want to know how people do this. And so if you want to know some others and have a look at some others, then just whip along and have a look at the testimonials on my site, and you'll see hundreds of other officers' experiences, including in those that were asked to remain behind or who had been commented on by assessors as to how they knew so much about this. You'll see another theme about being on the right tracks. Well, that's what the whole thing's all about, getting you on the right track for promotion board success, whatever that framework or that promotion process looks like. And it looks different in different forces at different times for different ranks, and I've blogged about that, and it may well change again in future. So I don't know if it's a hot exclusive or a breaking news here, but I know that in the Met they are looking at a different process, possibly involving military type exercises, military leadership exercises. What I see and what I've blogged about, what I've podcasted about before, is it doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter what process is in place. Policing changes according to the needs of policing. It changes according to the feedback from candidates. So some candidates say, we don't like applications. How are they relevant to being successful as an officer in today's policing environment? Other forces retain them as a sifting process and as a part of written communication tests, because written communication and spoken communication are important in policing, particularly as you go up through the ranks and certainly at supervisory levels. So therefore, unsurprisingly, it's tested through application processes where they remove those tests based on feedback. Cops don't like what replaces them, so psychometric tests, situational judgment tests, inductive reasoning tests. There are a number of other assessment type centres that are introduced as a SIFT, and guess what? People don't like those either. So what I'm saying is it doesn't really matter what the process is, whether it's new leadership type exercises, whether it's work-based assessment mingled with something else, an interview. An interview seems to be in the face of and despite the dislike of people. And who likes interviews really? Nobody. But it doesn't really matter what the process is. I think you can prepare for it. And I will always adapt, as I have done, the materials, my presentations, my tips and guidance to you to help you get through whatever the process looks like. So I look forward to when they change them, and I'll write about them, and I'll try and keep you informed through this. The other theme through this is confidence, incrementally boosting your confidence. That's what you do when you work through all these through my toolkits. Listen to my masterclass video for four hours. Funnily enough, I ask you to get a notebook and write down what it is that's new to you at the end of that 4 hours or as you go through. And people have written back to me and say, hey Steve, I've nearly filled the book up with stuff I never even knew I never knew. And so that's strange, isn't it, for operational cops to say that? And yet all of that you can then work with and get prepared for, and use it to prepare and to think and to reflect through, to prepare for a promotion board. And the theme around it being very helpful and amazingly so, as people have said. Well, good. I'm glad. It's the end of the year. It's the end of another year, or we're approaching the end of another year. I've now accumulated very kindly with feedback from customers that you can pop along and have a look at on my site. Feedback from hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of officers now, and there's something in it. It's the end of the year. I'm looking backward as well as looking forward to the new year. I'm very grateful to you if you've taken the time to let me know about your great news. These are some Christmas presents for people. They're Christmas presents in terms of feedback for me, and I will use all of this to make my services, including the free services that I provide, even better and produce even more content for you. So wherever you are, whatever you're doing over Christmas and over the New Year period, whether you work in shifts, whether you've got time off with your families, I wish you all the very best, and I will be back with a new video or some new videos in the new year. And until then, I wish you all the very best. Take care and stay safe.